All right, welcome to the overtime edition. Matt Schumont filling in for Moses Woldu. Joining me on the set as always, Greg Buchanan.
Hey Matt, not too bad.
Right on, and Michael Gordon, new cab cameraman. How's it going, bud?
Thank you for having me.
Hey, well, I had to ask you. You've been dying to get on the show.
I have been dying to get on the show, and now that I'm here, it's everything I wanted it to be.
Right off, cross off the bucket list?
Absolutely.
Right on, that's what I like to hear. So we're going to talk about the two things we didn't get to talk about during the show. The Toronto Blue Jays, currently on a 6-game winning streak. Now, I remember sitting here last week and us kind of bashing them. Now they only sit 5.5 games out of a wild card spot. Are they going to get back there?
No.
No? You're still going to?
Yeah, they got.
The pitching is coming around.
Their pitching's coming around.
Jose Reyes went 2 for 3 last night.
Yeah, they're hoping to have him back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Morrow's down there. He looked horrible, though.
He did not have a good start down there.
I still think they still have a lot of questions to be answered throughout their lineup. Their starting rotation looks better.
Yeah.
Middle
Josh
relief,
Johnson had a good-
middle relief kind of looks suspect. Closers kind of still look suspect. I think defensively too, they're making a few more, a little less mistakes than they did in the past, but they're still got a lot of uphill climb.
I think their closer's been their best pitcher, to be honest. Casey Janssen,
Yeah.
15 for 16 with save percentage. I think that's been the best pitcher this year because when he comes in, you know it's gonna.
But
it's
you have
done.
to have the game on the platter for
Yeah,
them, don't
exactly. You do.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to just calm down a little bit with the Blue Jays. They are doing well now, but I think people are starting to forget a little bit about the beginning of the year. I mean, they dropped how much money into this team?
A lot.
Yeah, and they're not performing the way they want. So, I mean, I hope they do better. I'm a fan.
They're starting to come around.
But, I mean, like, maybe playoff talk is at hand, but I think that's it. I don't think anything past that.
And I think as we move forward now in July and August, of course, the trading deadline is going to come up.
Yeah.
Are they going to be a buyer? Or are they going to be a seller? You know, if I'm Toronto, I'm going to be a seller.
You're gonna be a seller.
I'm going to be a seller because I need to get young kids in. For the old guys we picked up from Miami, who were terrible in Miami, and they're not much better in Toronto.
Yeah, they got like $27 million in injuries right now, do they not?
They got quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, at the same time, you do want to sell a little bit, but if everything's starting to, if the engine's starting to go and all the gears are starting to work, maybe just hang on to those guys just for now and just play out the rest of the season.
All right, now I'll get to our final one. I know you've been dying to talk
I have been
about
dying
this.
to talk. I was hoping
Chad
this would land itself
Ochocinco
in
Johnson had 30 days in jail after giving a little bump tap to the lawyer. That's been reduced to 7, so he's out now. She even got 30 days in the first place. Did they kind of let him off with the 7? What do you guys think about this whole thing?
You know, it really bugs me for the simple fact that what he did in the courtroom with his lawyer is one thing, but what we lose in this is that the reason why he was in the court to begin with. It was domestic abuse on his wife, and this is kind of pushed to the side, and that tap on the lawyer's butt is all we're talking about, which, you know, we're losing a perspective, you know, watching TMZ and those other stupid shows, and that's all they're talking about. They're not talking about the reason why he was in the courtroom.
Yeah, it's interesting. I do believe that they should have just kept the 30-day sentence because I want to believe that it had nothing to do with disrespect, but absolutely. I mean, he not only disrespected his lawyer and his wife, but the entire court proceeding, right? Because, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to know that's not acceptable anywhere, and it's even worse in court. So I think by letting him off 7 days early, you've told him, well, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
If he stayed 30 days in jail, maybe he would have gotten it through his head that that is not appropriate and maybe not happen again, but certainly he wouldn't do that in the court.
Now, the judge was very strict. Now, my question is, because she is so strict and stuck to her guns, is she going to get her own TV show one day?
I heard that, yeah. Anything can happen. There's reality shows. I'm surprised we're not in a reality show right now.
Kidding.
Yeah, don't be surprised if she doesn't, if she gets one.
People have gotten shows for doing a lot less.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at that Olympic swimmer. What's his name?
Oh, that Ryan Lochte.
Ryan Lochte. Have you ever watched that show?
I have not. And
It is perhaps the worst produced half an hour of TV ever.
Oh, that's a stretch, but yeah.
They did 14 minutes on a guy wearing the similar coat to him.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately I watched it for 5 minutes.
Okay, well, we're going to stop talking about bad TV and wrap up some good TV. Greg, thank you for joining me on the set as always.
Thanks, Matt.
And Gordo, thank you for being on the set.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that's it. All we have for our overtime edition. Tune in next week for more Gloves Are Off.